All right, I am back and I have done like I promised in the last video. I put a ton of clay particles, granules, and clay dust into the bowl and let it sit out. It's actually been sitting out. I said I was going to do this when I got home today, which would have been right around 5 something. But I actually have been letting it sit out since I came home for lunch, and it's too watery. So I'm going to have to add a lot more clay to thicken that up, but I might as well go ahead and smooth out what I have before I add the clay, because I'm going to have to roll it on the cutting board with a rolling pin to make sure it's nice and fine so it can turn into slip pretty quickly. I'm going to be using slip for this part. I'm adding more jewelry to the multi-strand necklace that she has on. So yeah, I need the slip, no way to get around it. So I'm going to back away for just a second, grab my cutting board. This is all going to happen off camera. I'm going to grab my bag of pebbles and reach my hand in. This is what my hand looks like now. So I'm going to reach my hand in, try to grab out the finest pieces to put on the cutting board, which I've done off camera. Here are my hands now. And I'm taking the rolling pin off camera and just, you can hear that, right? Rolling it over the clay particles and making them fine. I don't think I ever apply enough pressure to ground them to dust because I don't have much upper body strength. I just got a lot of upper body. Big back club, that's a me. So I'm trying to ground it down as much as I possibly can, back and forth rolling, and I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. I should have showed you what it looks like before I started rolling it, but I'm not that bright, so I didn't think to do that. So you'll take what you can get from me. All right, so I can't really tilt this, but this is what it's looking like now. And I'm taking the scraper tool off camera and just scraping it into place so I can do another roll. And that's probably going to be the final roll because that should do the trick. And ground everything down to the consistency I need it. I need it to be dust light. It's not going to be as fine as sand, but I need pieces of it to be close to that. So it takes a few passes to get it there. And I'll show it to you again in just a second. Okay, so this is where it's at now. That's about all I have the patience for. So I'm going to move her out of the way. I'm going to get back into the camera frame as much as I ever do, which is not enough to show my face, because I told y'all I'm shy like that. And I'm just going to scrape it off into the bowl. I think that's enough. I'm probably still going to have to add a little bit more water. That's not a problem. Or this may be just right. I'm going to go ahead and scrape what I've already created now back into the bag. And that's less big pieces that I have to grind when it comes time to make more slip. Okay, I'm thinking the off-camera work is just about done. And this is boring, but necessary. And that's me stirring all of this in. That's the consistency I want, where it can hang on. See how it's hanging on to the spatula? But it does need to be much smoother. So I've got to work at this for a little while. I'm too impatient to do this for the long haul, so I'm going to stop soon. And those pieces will melt down and they'll absorb better on their own. But you can see it's still very oatmeal-y looking. But I'll be able to take and smash what I want to use up against the side of the bowl like this and press out all of those lumps bit by bit. And like I said, eventually these hard pebble pieces that are in here and resisting the saturation, they're going to get saturated and it's going to be a smooth consistency. But right now, it looks like an apocalypse Snicker bar. So that's just what it is. All right, so we're good. We've got our slip ready. Now let's get back to our homegirl. Taking out some clay to make the jewelry with. And I don't really feel like talking a whole heck of a lot, so I hush now. That beeping that you might be hearing, it's not a fire alarm where I haven't changed out the batteries. It is actually the microwave, because I've got a whole rotisserie chicken in there that I just microwaved. And it's ready, but I'm not ready to eat, so it's being ignored. All right, it is time for me to take a break. I need to get something to eat. This detailed work, even with all these glasses, is can be a bit tough on my eyes. I should have put it up on something a little bit higher so that it could be closer to eye level, but I tend not to think about things like that until I've been working for a while and it's too late. The damage is sort of done. So we are clocking out at 1 minute and why do I always say 1 minute? That's so goofy. We're clocking out at 1 hour, pretty much exactly. So as you can see, I've been building up this necklace on her, and it's just real random. You know, I'm just going with the flow and creating as I move along, and I'm liking the vibe of it. It's organic. Yeah, everything for me doesn't have to be so ultra refined because it's always been about a vibe. And this is a vibe all its own, definitely. So I am rocking with it and loving the way it's coming out. Now there's going to be a lot of refining done on this, but I want it to have a big, bulky, almost unsettled look. Pieces sitting atop each other, just doing what they do, just doing what bulky jewelry does, which I happen to love. So I'm going to take a breather, and I'm going to do a little bit more, so I will catch you on the flip side. Get some grub, let this phone charge, and I thank you for riding out with me like you always do. Peace.